I'm Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Braylon Edwards here, back in the studio. Glad to be with you guys. Anson Wells on the desk. Before we introduce everybody, let's just get the huge elephant out of the room. That is Ryan Ermanni, co-host with me and Maz now for the past 4 years, has moved on. We wish him nothing but the best. He's gone on to a different show. We wish him nothing but the best. Last 4 years have been amazing. Learned a lot from Ryan. Great guy, great brother, great friend, great all things. Maz has worked with Ryan for years on top of that. They go way back, 20 plus years, if you will. We wish him nothing but the best. But ladies and gentlemen, hear this from me and hear it clear. We were ready for this. We already have rebranded the show. Starting Monday, July 14th, that is this coming Monday, the show changes from the Anson and Edwards with Maz show to the Braylon Edwards show with Shep. And that Shep is for Matt Shepard. You know him well. We've had him on the show in the years past. He used to be with the Detroit Tigers for a few years, and he's been a staple in the city for multiple decades of professionalism. We got an angle that I think you guys will like. So we're going to have some fun with that. It is a rebrand. It is a fresh start. But right now, let's get back into what we do. Can't believe I'm back in the same building with my crew. How you guys been?
Good, man.
Doing well,
It's been a minute, man. I haven't seen you guys since, last Thursday?
Yeah. How was your
Had the holiday popped up a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, couldn't make it over to the barbecue. I crashed when I got home.
Ricky and I live similar places, but we have yet to see each other. We're going to get that together. We're gonna
I'm
get
on
that
baby
together.
duty. I'll take all the blame.
Say less.
brother.
I could pop up on you. I could pop up on you. Side
changing
note,
the
something hilarious happened, Maz. You're the first person I thought about when this happens.
What's
okay?
that?
On Friday, going to Kroger, doing last minute
Oh.
shopping so we can get the barbecue correct, so we can get it the right way, make sure everybody comes over, has a great time. So I'm feeling good. I woke up, got a workout in, feel great. Didn't feel anything at the gym, nothing like that. Maz, I got in my car. As I pulled out of the driveway to make a left turn so I can head over to Kroger's, Maz, I had to sneeze. So you know what? I sneezed.
Ribs.
I didn't think anything of it.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
I thought I threw my back out. Maz, I'm 42. Is this when it starts?
Hey, man, you got to let those sneezes out.
Jesus.
You probably tried to hold back a little. You got to just let it out.
Thank
man.
you.
The minute you hold back, your rib is going, your lower back is going, your neck is going.
Wow.
It's happened many times. I've learned to let those sneezes go. That's bad.
Let me ask two of the other men that are over 40 in here, 42 to be exact. Anson.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Well, you're over 42. You're over 40. Is that fair to say?
He tried to hide it.
I don't even talk about age, man. What are you talking about?
Have
over
you
there?
ever
Stop it. This is the
Have you
man
ever
show.
sneezed?
Hell no, I've never sneezed and hurt myself.
Okay.
I ain't that old yet.
Be proud of your age,
That's
Anson.
a fair question. That's fair.
And it's an
Pete?
honest
I
answer.
have
I'm coming to you.
sneezed and hurt my lower back.
That's
I
what I'm
have
talking about. Thank you,
coughed
Pete.
and hurt my upper back. I have thrown up and broke my ribs.
Okay, TMI, I
So
like it though.
I am a 50-year-old
Broke-
man with a lot of veteran pain, my
Hold on, Pete,
friend.
you gotta
and
go
Braylon,
back
it's
to that.
just beginning for you.
Yeah, no, I rebuke that. I am now on the answer wave. I rebuke that. It's not the beginning. I am going to be in yoga, hot yoga,
you
bigger
go.
yoga. I will be in the swimming pool so the buoyancy can take care of my joints. Oh, I got the plan. Talk about the last thing you said. You said you
I've
vomited,
broken ribs throwing up.
and your rib. Wow, how that had to be painful. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Nah, you was
man.
probably drunk. So
Well,
you
when
didn't
you
feel it.
party hard back in the
Yeah.
day, when you're in a fraternity,
Okay.
you're in a
That
fraternity,
makes
man.
sense.
That's not throwing up. That's consistent, constant retching. If
Yeah.
you're breaking a rib, puking.
Well, hey, man, if you're going to
That's,
do it correctly.
He said Jaeger bombs, dude.
Dude, let's go.
No, it was called Boom. We had Jaeger bombs, and then when Boone's Farm showed up, remember the Boone's Farm? You could never taste it. Oh my God!
My one buddy said that after 40, sleeping becomes a contact sport.
There's some jerking in my sleep. Pause, not that time. But there's body twitching a little bit and doing those things, and you're wrestling your back with the bed. You gotta have the right mattress.
That's
Funny.
right. I got a different
Gotta have the
mattress up in Washington Township than the one I have in Detroit. Man, that mattress in Detroit makes life so much better.
Something funny happened yesterday, man. It's actually two things. I'll get into sports in a second. We got time. We're just casually talking. Played an outing yesterday. The Lomas Brown outing. We talked about it. I went to Low. Shout out to Low Brown. He supports the show every week during the season. Like whenever Maz reaches out to him, he will come on for us. So we love Lomas here. And he's one of the best linemen, if not the best offensive lineman the Detroit Lions have ever had. We know who's going to take that spot soon. So it was great. I had this moment. I go over to see Tim Walton. Tim Walton's the head of NFL Alumni Detroit, played for the Lions in the early 90s as a safety. He always wears these ugly golf shoes. They're Lions colors, but they're like the Stacey Adams with the patent leather with the gator on top, kind of like the knick-knack old school, but they're Honolulu blue and gray, or the Lions colors. So I walk up, and I say, Tim, why do you always have these ugly shoes? Barry was right there. Barry is starting to openly joke now. Barry's way laid down. He's laid back. He's chill. He said, hey, you got something? You got something against those colors? You got something against Detroit Lions? Guess who comes from behind Barry and is talking stuff? 6'5", Megatron. You got something? You got a problem with our colors? I got Barry and Calvin talking about the Detroit Lions. I was like,
about it.
Y'all got it.
Yeah, right.
Y'all got it.
Hey, at least you know where your buddy is on the. You know where Tim is on the course, right?
100%.
Just gotta look for those shoes.
It's not like bowling
Gotta
shoes.
look for those shoes.
Also, I hate golfing with quarterbacks. Last thing about the golf outing. I played with another man who knows how to beat Ohio State. His name is quarterback Davis Warren, who's just coming off of ACL surgery. Shout out to him, man. Amazing kid. It was great playing with him. Learned a lot. He asked a question. When young kids ask questions, means they're inquisitive. I appreciate that. It makes you feel good as an older man. Hits the ball a country mile.
Boy.
Every shot is easy. I had to ask him. I said, you must have grew up with nice weather. Yeah, you know I'm from California. Been playing. I said, makes sense. He hit the ball a mile. He could put it within the pin whenever he wanted to. Fun playing with Davis Warren, but also, I had to ask him about the game all around long. What was the energy like? What was the pre-snap like? He said they knew when they got the 2 first downs on the first series because they started off the 2-yard line. They got 2 first downs. He said we knew we had a shot. And the rest is history. Pete, I see you with your hand up.
Well, I was going to say you also had another encounter this weekend. On Thursday, July 3rd, you ran into Maz and my mutual friend Dan Gutowski while you were waiting for sushi. Friend of the show, Guts, was
I did
waiting
run
for
into
sushi, and he saw you. And I was talking to him yesterday, and he brought that up, Ray.
It was on the way out of Shiro House. I stopped at Shiro House to pick up. It was on the way to
Did you
Shiro
buy
House.
Guts sushi?
Well, no.
Okay,
Guts had a bunch of people with him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, so it's fun. Shout out to Guts. Good to see him.
There you go.
Anybody do anything fun outside of
It was
4th
just
of
a
July
fun. It was
fireworks?
just a great weekend.
Yeah,
Be with the
I
family.
like
That's
that.
all.
Cooled
It was all
off for
good.
you, man.
Yeah, it's cooling off right now. It's cooling off right. My pool was over 90 degrees. I was telling everyone it wasn't even nice to get in. Now it's back down to right around 80, so it's on its way.
May have cooled off for you and maybe have cooled off for your pool, but it's not cooled off for the Detroit Tigers, who get win number 58. They beat the Rays 5-1. Javi, Colt, and McKinstry all go yard. Shout out to my boy El Mago. I told you before the season started that he would bat 300. May not be 300, but he's made a difference for this Detroit Tigers. Who wants to open up where the Tigers are 2 games outside of 60 wins? Tom
Maz.
I was there. I was there last night, enjoying every minute.
And all over Twitter,
Look at this guy.
everywhere.
Maz!
Everywhere.
Maz in the home plate club.
Hey.
You know how much those
I
seats
saw
go for, ladies and
12
gentlemen?
different angles of him on Twitter
I
last
hate
night.
it.
He's looking good. He's got
made
that I
it.
don't want to be here.
He's in
I'm
disguise.
skipping work.
He's in
face.
disguise
That's
there.
a CIA look. That's the
I
CIA look.
I made it. I made it to the home run club, and it was everything that you wanted it to be and more.
You snuck down, right?
No.
Come on.
No, I had tickets. I had tickets. I got them late. I was on my way. I was just going to go to the press box and hang out with Nick, Microwave Nick, from Woodward Sports. And
Is that the bearded man that was sitting next to you for a few innings?
No, it looked like Nick from afar, but no, that's Ethan.
I was going to say that's Ethan.
That's
isn't
my
it?
buddy Ethan.
That's
So
Ethan.
I called him last minute, and I'm like, hey, man, you want to come down? And he was, I forget where he lives. He lives way far away. He's like, you're at Home Run Club? I'll be right there. He basically left his wife and kids in the driveway,
you gotta do it,
hopped in the car, and ran down there. He got there in the second inning. We got the seats, and I stayed until, like, they threw me out. That's how much I was enjoying those seats. It was
Now, you know,
really
Braylon,
fun.
We
Really
were,
fun.
Yesterday we were at Cherry Creek together, did the show, and I didn't get an invite.
I didn't get him at that point. If I had him, I would have invited you. For sure would have invited you. I told you. I went to visit a friend at the hospital, which is down at Henry Ford, right by the Fisher Building. And my buddy calls me with tickets. I'm like, okay, visiting hours is over. I got to go. Hopped in the car, went down. It's fantastic. I highly recommend if you guys can get a game down in that home run club. I know they're expensive. You need good friends. I had good friends that offered me the tickets, and thanks, Steve Gabara.
John effing Lord wants to know if you purchased your hot dogs with war bonds.
I did not. I did not have any hot dogs because they have a beautiful buffet at the at the home run club.
Can you
Photo
explain
pre or
war
post?
bonds for the ones under 40?
Yeah.
That's
Right
how
now,
they pay for things back
right
in
now
the
you got to
40s.
go up to the Tigers Club to eat, and then you go to your seats. I only went to the club. I stayed there 20 minutes. Then I went down to the seats. That's all I cared about.
You can go twice. You go one time before the game starts.
Yeah.
Like when I go before the game starts, you eat, kind of chill, yourself a beverage if you want to, enjoy the scenery.
You
they
can't
have
go
snacks,
back.
ice cream. You can go back though. 7-inning stretch.
Oh, okay.
Like literally when
Nice.
I go back in the 7th inning stretch, go kind of refresh whatever, and then finish the game.
They
or
actually
leave
have
after.
a guy walking around with waters, sodas,
best
popcorn.
Best popcorn in the city.
Oh, it is very good.
Best popcorn in
And
the city.
the best Pepsi pour. Great fountain Pepsi pour.
Best
How are the
Pepsi
air
pour.
conditioned seats? Do they make a difference?
I didn't put them on. It was so comfortable.
Oh, okay, got
It was
you.
so comfortable.
The weather was beautiful. Weather was beautiful last night.
It was
Yeah, it was
great.
great.
And a
That's
great
another-
win. Tigers right off the bat.
6 innings, Montero.
Yep. Montero
Yeah.
looked great last night. Probably could have went 7 innings if AJ left him in, but he has his plan, and it worked out to perfection. The only way that the Rays scored, they scored on a double to right field. Zach McKinstry throws the guy out at third. As he's throwing him out, the guy just scores before the out, which would have been the third out of the inning. But if you score prior to that tag, the run counts. So that was the only run they had. They weren't even close the rest of the game, and they were terrific. The bullpen was terrific. And like I said, Javi, Colt Keith, and Zach McKinstry, who is going to be an all-star. And Colt Keith was hitting the ball real hard last night, man. He looks like he's coming into his own. He's getting a batting leadoff. I'm like, why are they batting this guy leadoff? But he's starting to show. This guy, A.J. Hinch, man, he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. I have no right to even ask him what he's doing.
Yeah, 100%. No, you talk about the answer. I want to ask you a question. You talk about coming into the season, the pitching staff. That was the thing that we were known for. We knew we had Tarek Skubal. We thought that Jack Flaherty, which he has been, he goes tonight. By the way, we thought we had Jack Flaherty. We knew Jackson Joe would be this young pitcher for us. But still a couple spaces where you were guessing. It seems as though Chris Fetter, shout out to the University of Michigan, he's got these pitchers even better than they were last year. Now some guys with some question marks, like a Cater Montero, like a Casey Mize. Now they're coming in with new stuff. And even the bats. Maz talks about Zach McKinstry, Colton Keith. Now they're hitting the cover out of the ball. Seems like the coaching staff here, they get it right now.
Yeah, and we talked about it with Dan Dickerson yesterday. This is when Scott Harris came in, he talked about the culture from top to bottom. I doubled down the same question I asked Lynn Henning last week. I asked A.J. Hinch or Sparky Anderson, and he didn't hesitate either. A.J. Hinch. You talk about the Fetter way with the way that these guys pitched last year. You know, you didn't know what Casey Mize was going to do. The guy's come up, showed himself to be healthy, and has been a big-time contributor. In fact, Jack Flaherty, up until he threw 7 strikeouts in a row, has kind of struggled and really hasn't been our true number 2. You see this organization from top to bottom, from low A to triple A in Toledo to here in Detroit. They're all playing above 500 ball, and the micromanagement of each manager and coach, or whatever they're doing at every single level, they've brought a different culture to this team. So again, I still think there's some aggression in front of this team. Okay. I don't think that on paper they match up with some of the teams that they have similar records to. But when you have this kind of management and you have this kind of culture, it breeds confidence, and then success follows. So I still think they need a couple more pieces, but they're squeezing every every ounce of juice out of this fruit, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that conversation. And one thing that happens in spaces like this is I used to tell people this. In fact, we had a guy that used to do a show here, and he's a big bowler. Big bowler. He competed in the States. I think he won the States one year, finished top 10 a couple times. And I told him, I don't care about that.
You talking about Scotty G?
100% talking about Scotty G. And the reason I bring him up, I said, you got to beat me head to head. I was like, I don't care about your record. I don't care about what you do when I'm not around.
That's right.
You got to beat me. We had a fun little Woodward Sports outing, and I come to the outing, didn't even warm up. Maz knows I'm not lying. I didn't. I shot a 247. It wasn't league style, so it wasn't cross. But I shot 247 with a house ball. And then he shot 219, or maybe I don't think he shot 200. My point is this. I understand that about those teams. I understand those about those celebs, as you want to say. But you got to come to Comerica Park and beat us. And if our record's better than you, then you got to come to Comerica Park 4 out of the 3 games, and you got to show us that you're that good.
And you got to see Tarek Skubal
Yeah,
3 times in 7 games.
Exactly. Like, you got to show me this in person. And I like our chances with AJ Henson and the squad in person. Maz, first time since 2013 that this team has been, 24.
Amazing.
24 wins over
And that was
500.
one hell of a team. You know what happened to that team.
And I think we're
Big
starting.
Poppy happened to that team.
I think people are starting to believe that this team is better than that one.
It could be. It doesn't look like it on paper. Let's face it, that 2013 was chock full of stars. This one is just young guys on their way up, all playing together like a terrific basketball team. It's amazing how this team plays together. That catch by Riley Green last night was outstanding.
Yep.
He makes it look so easy. Parker Meadows, he's like a gazelle in center field. Zach McKinstry plays 8 out of 9 positions. Dylan Dingler is throwing out runners left and right. I don't really have any other superlatives to put on this team. You saw what happened to Ryan Sweeney the other day. Trey Sweeney hits the game-winning home run in the 10th against Cleveland on Sunday. That's right, Trey Sweeney. The light-hitting shortstop that is in and out of games, up and down from AAA. Everybody is chipping in on this team, and you know what? Torque isn't getting his numbers aren't huge, but he's hitting the hell out of that baseball. He's just hitting it to the warning track and to the wall. He is going to hit 35-plus home runs this year.
Side note, Parker Meadows, that white boy can run.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Every time I turn, I'm like,
He's a gazelle.
he's fast. There's fast, and there's fast. Parker Meadows is fast.
White boy fast.
One thing about that paper, talking about on paper, 2004, somebody looked like they could beat somebody on paper.
No doubt.
Insert the gentleman sweep of the Detroit Pistons over the Lakers. Pete,
Sir.
this team, man, it's like Matt said, not enough superlatives. 58 wins already, 24 above 500. Blah 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 blah.
Why not? I'd like to blah, blah, blah about first-place teams all day, Mr. Braylon Edwards. It's a lot fun to blah, blah, blah about first-place teams and last-place teams because 2 years ago we were wondering where the hell this team was going. They decided to play money ball. It's working for them. You got to figure out a way to get Tarek Skubal under a deal. I know he doesn't want to do it now. I get it. You're going to have to make – see, now you're going to have to go from the money ball aspect to having to make a move here and making a move there. We'll see where that goes. But right now, the Tigers are going to get Jason Foley back after the All-Star break. They're going to combine him with Will Vest, and I call Will Vest, the German version, because he pitches like a crazy frickin' just, shut down reliever closer. I love Will Vest, and I'm excited for Jason Foley to come back. The right time. Everything's fitting in for the Tigers at the right time as the second half begins because all these pitchers are going to come back. We might even get Alex Cobb, even though, Braylon, I'm not a big fan of Mr. Alex Cobb. But at least it's a veteran arm. You're going to have him coming back at the right time. That's important. If you can at least get an inning or two out of the guy, you might as well get an inning or two out of the guy. There's a lot of positive things happening right now for the Tigers. Let's hope that the All-Star game goes well for them. We stay injury-free, all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'm going to say that out there, but let's have some fun for the All-Star break. Let's get ready for the second half.
Anson, this is a great question for you. I think you have a lot of great points as it relates to contracts, when they should get done, who you should pay, and things of that nature. Tarek Skubal, we were told to shelf that conversation. So pretty much I think we've shelved that conversation for the past 3 weeks, maybe even a month. But here it is, getting closer to the trade deadline. The Pitt Tigers are where they are, thinking about these things. Is there any reason to open that conversation up and maybe try to pay Tarek Skubal? Where are you with that?
Another question we asked Dan Dickerson yesterday on a follow-up to what we asked Lynn Henning last week.
My apologies, third time. Here
Well,
we go.
the two of them were very different. Lynn last week, he said it's not happening. They're not going to re-sign him. He's going to realize free agency, and we'll probably get outbid. And he was content to take a compensatory pick in exchange, which when we clipped and posted that on Twitter, boy, Tiger fans were not happy. I think that when you look at getting 2 years out of him, health assumed this guy is the best pitcher in baseball, and it's possible he could win you 2 World Series in those 2 years. To just let him walk after that for compensatory pick, I don't think that this team would be willing to do that. I think that at some point he would get traded. Now, yesterday we talked to Dan Dickerson, and pretty quickly he refuted that. He was saying that Lynn, last year wanted to trade Skubal, but I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think that this team doesn't want to pay a $500 million contract. I don't think that it's in their DNA currently, and it might not be ever in their DNA. You look at what trading him would do to this team in a year from now, and I think that would be absolutely tremendous. I think that Dan Dickerson kind of expects us to really make a play, but at the same point, if the writing's on the wall and this guy's going to go west or east and end up at one of the big city coast teams, then at that point you got to cash in. You can't just get a compensatory pick for the best guy in the league. But Tigers fans, there's not a whole lot of reason to talk about extending Skubal this year because it's absolutely not happening.
Right.
That guy goes out and gets another Cy Young, and the next thing you know, the bidding starts talking about $600,000. So he'd be doing himself a disservice by signing on any dotted line right now.
Probably the best 3 pitchers in baseball right now: Willer, Skeens, and Skubal. And I would have to take Terry Skubal over the other 2, even though Paul Skeens pitched a nasty game 2 days ago. Maz, how many wins does not bringing back Terry Skubal cost you?
Probably 15 to 20 wins. 15 to 20 wins, plus maybe even more, because you don't know what the rest of the pitching staff's going to do. But we got time for that.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying, we got him under control this year, and they got him under control next year. You pitch him, and next year, as if Anson's saying you want to trade him at the deadline, if you can't sign him, I don't know about that. It depends on how far you want to go in the playoffs. You don't trade a guy that is a horse.
If you're in the same situation and you're like 20 games above 500,
yeah, but
and you got to trade him because you know you can't sign him, that's tough. So maybe
you need him for the playoffs.
And that's the thing is maybe Lynn has a great point. Maybe it ends up being just a compensatory pick.
It does, but who knows? Maybe he wants to stay in Detroit when it's all said and done, like Dan said yesterday. So let's not talk about it. Let's enjoy him while he's here. He is a horse. He's the best pitcher in baseball, bar none. I know Hunter Brown's having a year. Max Fried's having a year. There's a few others that are having a phenomenal year.
Really?
I'm going to miss them. Valdez in Houston. There's quite a few, but they don't add up to this guy. This guy is the horse. No doubt about it. Enjoy him. They're going to win the Central. Hopefully they're going to have a good matchup in the playoffs. And they move on. They win a couple of series, get into the World Series.
Maz, you may not want to talk about Skubal anymore, but all of the chat wants to talk about your Volunteers polo. They want to know if you're a fan. They're saying it looks good. They need a story. They need some background.
There's really no story. I have family in Tennessee, and years ago I was gifted this polo. I've been wearing it for years. I don't wear it a lot, but I'm not a Tennessee Volunteer fan. I'm a Michigan Wolverine. And that's it. I wore it because it was in the rotation today.
Okay, here's a fun question.
There you go. I don't also, half the NFL teams I wear, I don't like them either.
Tennessee Volunteers, first player that comes to mind. Go.
Conridge Holloway.
Conridge Holloway.
Yeah, he was a quarterback back in the
Just threw me
70s.
off.
Okay.
If you ask me first thing out of my mind, that's the first thing that come out of my mind.
Can you say his name again?
Conridge Holloway. Look him up. He had the tearaway jersey. He was a running quarterback.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
I thought you would have gone differently.
Reggie White?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the Minister of Defense would have been
Yeah, but the first name that pops up when you said the Tennessee Vols, I don't know why, but that kid pops up in my mind.
What's his first name?
Conridge.
Conridge?
Conridge Holloway. Just look it up.
I can't even find it on Google. I got Conridge, like Conridge.
Got to talk to it a little bit. You
How
gotta
about
talk to him.
Conrad Holloway, Tennessee, and something will pop up.
There you go.
There you
Ooh,
go.
look at you, Maz,
Look
getting
up
you right. I see
Tearaway
you over there,
Johnson.
Boomer.
There you
Getting
go.
them right. Speaking of booming, we keep talking about. We'll end it here. Detroit Tigers are tied for the most All-Stars with, you guessed it, the Dodgers, which is a team that looks good on the
Wild.
paper, as well as the M's. The Mariners have 4, Tigers have 4, and the Dodgers win with 5. That makes sense. The Dodgers got about 6 Hall of Famers on that team, so go figure.
Mariners are here on Thursday.
Mariners are. That's gonna be a good series. That's gonna be a good series. Kyle Riley,
I know.
it keeps
Can't
going.
wait.
Julio Rodriguez should not be on that squad.
No, he shouldn't.
That's
Did you
true.
find Conrad Holloway yet?
No, because now it says Conridge, Holloway, Tennessee. There's no direct information linking Conridge
Maz made
and
that.
Holloway in the context
Man,
provided.
just make that up.
Maz made that.
Please spell the guy's first name.
Oh, I'm sorry. His name was Jack.
Please, Lord, let Maz have made that up.
I hope so.
Conrad
Just let-
Holloway,
He's the
Tennessee
confidence in that name.
Volunteers quarterback.
Like, just let Maz have made that up. Like, please tell me it does not exist.
There.
Let me see.
Oh, it's a brother too. It's number 7.
Oh, with a name like Conrad.
I'm just
Oh, I knew that.
I mean, how dumb
imagining
are you,
Michael P.
Anson?
Keaton when he had the Stonewall Jackson written on the bottom of his shoes next to Conridge Holloway.
There you go.
He's only 71 years old.
What? How do you spell the first name, Rick?
Condredge.
It's Condredge.
Condredge.
Holloway Jr.
like
Condredge.
Condredge.
like
Yeah.
condo.
You guys thought I made up a name?
Yeah,
Well,
a
I
little
thought you didn't
bit.
spell it right.
I mean,
we thought that
technically
might have
everything's
been
made up, man. So
Not him.
That's funny.
I still can't hear.
Look at that. He wore number 7. Let
still
me go to
can't
some of
find
his
him.
images.
Chad, you having any luck finding this guy? I think he's fake.
There he is.
All right, I believe it. Look like he got some guns too. Little quarterback over there. He's
Look at
ready.
that.
He must be going to
Definitely
Planet
ready.
Fitness.
No, he's not going
No.
to Planet Fitness, but I'll tell you about a guy. In fact, Maz
Oh,
will
that's
tell
right.
you about a
That's
guy.
my
It's
bad. He
Dr.
was
Pierce.
sitting in
Secret
the chair
sauce.
last week.
I cannot wait to talk to Dr. Pierce. He did something for not even a friend of mine. He did something for somebody that I know. It just lets you know the kind of person that Dr. Pierce is. When he's in, he got to call me up or something. I can't wait to tell this story. Maz, talk about the guy, Dr. Pierce.
I was there today. Got my therapy from Faith
move that
and
up.
Kara. Michigan Sports and Spine in Livonia, right on Middle Belt. Do not miss it out. He is here with us, Dr. Jeff Pierce, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He will keep you in the game, feeling at your best. He's got that special sauce that I'm going to get next week. He's going to hit that elbow up one more
Fist bump.
time, get it working. I'm feeling a little bit better.
Fist bump.
All right? I'm feeling a little bit better. So
Fist
get
bump.
on down there. Michigan Sports and Spine, Dr. Jeff Pierce. Check him out, 248-426-9944 or MichiganSportsandSpine.com.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey guys, looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Look no further. Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, not too far from us here at Woodward Sports, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He is the wellness doc, and he is the creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Why don't you book a visit right now? MassageChairHouse.com. Click that QR code. It'll take you right there. Go enjoy 20 minutes of a stressful day. Relax in any chair you want. And who knows, you might be taking one home. Easy financing available as well. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Teens, 14 and 19, man. Gotta get you guys out of the house. This summer, only through the summer, Planet Fitness is proud to introduce the high school summer pass. Now, they didn't do it last year. They brought it back because everybody was asking, how can we get my kids out of the house? Well, this is how you do it, man. 14 and 19, you're free. You just come in, you get your pass, you're free all summer. Mental health is just as important, if not more important than physical health. We want you to be good either way. And then also at Planet Fitness, it's home of the judgment-free zone. So there's no judgment. You come down to Planet Fitness, you have a good time. We want you to get out of the house June 1st through August 31st. So you still got some good time to make some hay and get that body the way that you want it and to get that mind clear. Also, those that aren't 14 and 19, you know it's fitness that fits into your budget always, man. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is central. I appreciate that.
It really is fantastic that they're doing that for high school kids.
It's better than dropping your kids off downtown like some people have been doing.
Hell yeah. Well, and then you can all your friends, you can get into it because they all get to go for free. That is a really awesome program.
The coolest thing about it, too, and this isn't because they're our sponsor, this is because I've been there. I've watched. It's a clean, cool, chill, safe environment.
If you don't believe them, look at the guns.
That 100%. Outside that, you know, it's safe in the weight room, but it's safe in the weight room for the kids too. Like, you can come in, people will be watching, people are tuned in to what they're doing. They're dialing and working out, getting better, feeling good, feeling great. People speak to each other in the gym, so I think it's a cool place for the
kids.
kids.
As Maz would say, the body of an Adonis.
You know what, Maz, he's not lying. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you kindly.
So Rando Smalls has a great topic here in the chat. Before we get there, though, 29 likes in the first 30 minutes. Awesome, guys. Keep it up. Let's get to 60 through the first hour. So I need you to smash that like button. Today, we are finishing up the Gnome Tour here, guys. We got the Red Wings Gnome now. We've got them all out. And then,
does he have a name?
That's up to the owner. You can name him. So we won't throw a name on him yet. But
call him Mac.
I call him Gordy.
There you go.
Gordy the Gnome.
And then this one here. This is a Stackhouse Fleer Metal Rookie. That is a pretty strong card right there, guys. And one of our favorite Pistons brought us Rip Hamilton, who brought us a championship. And those two items are going to go home to one of you. And since you guys did hear the news, these last 3 days after today will be pretty much the last days that we'll be doing some of these big ones. So make sure you bring it with the Super Chat this week. But Rando Smalls, I asked this question of Flannel. Has Javi Baez done less, more, or the same as Riley Green this year? I say pretty equal with versatility. I'll go first. Yeah. I think Javi has done more. And I love Riley Green's home runs, but I'm looking at, 118 strikeouts? 118 strikeouts.
Most of them at the beginning of the year.
Isn't that supposed to be Javi's strikeout total? And when I see what Javi did yesterday with the glove and what he's done all season, but it's even more than that. This guy has gone from the problem to the solution And when you have a guy that is divisive, even if he's loved in the locker room, every time your manager, your GM, and even guys on the team are being asked about this overpaid superstar who's not contributing. In fact, not even playing as we watched towards the end of last year. Now it's a topic of sunshine and flowers. Everybody wants to talk about Javi. He instills confidence to the rest of this team because he's once again embraced and loved by the city and his teammates. So I gotta say, Randall, for me, I think Javi has done more than our young superstar Riley Green.
All right, if you want to get the numbers as follows. Javi, 72 hits, he's got 10 home runs, and he's batting 279, pretty much 280. On the flip side, Riley Green's 99 hits, 22 home runs, and 285. Also, 100 more at-bats for Riley Green and Javi Baez. Look, we keep talking about the story isn't always on the paper, and it's not. Anson, you are correct. It's the glove. It's, hey, we want you in center field. Hey, we want you at third base. Hey, we want you to play shortstop. Hey, we want you to sit on the bench. Hey, we want you to come in the seventh to pinch hit and hit a home run, win a game. He's done that all season long, and I love the line about he went from the problem to the solution. I think in a temporary space, he has become one of the solutions, the main solution for the Detroit Tigers early on. And you got to add the fact it's the story. It's the energy. It's brought everybody in. The team rallies around Javi Baez, and Javi Baez wants to be nothing but be a great teammate. You can't take anything away from Riley Green. Riley Green earns to start as an all-star, and I think he will in the future be the guy for the Detroit Tigers. Just looking at it in a brief snapshot, I agree with Anson. As of right now, I think Javi's done just the edge more, but I always hate when you have to compare because somebody gets the kick. But I think Javi, for what he's done this season, I think the story, it's always about the story. And Javi Baez, ladies and gentlemen, Javi's in the All-Star game as a starter. Let that sink in.
As a center fielder. A center fielder.
Let that sink
what
in.
Javi Baez did was literally, it was like signing a free agent in the offseason. A good free agent. You signed Javi Baez from the Cubs. That's the Javi Baez
there you go.
that the Tigers got this year. And he is the guy. He is the straw that stirs the drink. He is. There's one really good star on this team, and it's Riley Green. And Javi Baez is, you know what Javi Baez did? He shut Neil Rule up. Okay?
There you go.
He shut Neil Rule up.
Talk about it.
Neil Rule is walking around with a Javi Baez jersey now.
That's right.
Okay? This guy has been a godsend to this team. He is. And you know what? The crowd, they erupt for him. It's like, I don't know. It's like they hit the jackpot.
It's like if Darko became a 20-10 guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
It's the Detroit story, though. It's the comeback story. We love a comeback story.
Yep.
Yep.
It might be our
Even if we were the ones to put him down there,
And
we were the ones that were talking smack, we still love him to come back.
And Riley Green, he's been a a superstar. Plays a great field, hits, and he's a monster right now. So taking nothing away from him.
Maz, you said that we got the Javi Baez from the Chicago Cubs, right? They won in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. 2016, this current Javi Baez has a higher batting average.
Boy.
On pace to have way more hits. On pace to have more RBIs. His OPS is higher. His slugging percentage is higher.
Wow.
And his strikeouts back then were higher.
How about that?
We got a better version of Javi Baez.
Wow.
And home runs, he was at 23 for the full season, 145 games. He's at 10 right now.
You got a $140 million Javi Baez.
Yeah,
That's what
Go
you
ahead,
got.
I was going to say the disrespect, once again, from the national media, as you guys all know where I stand with that, continues. Because while we're in the middle of this Javier Baez conversation, I was doing some research. Out of two, and I will not name them, out of two major sports books,
You can tell we love Javi Baez
how
on the
many
show,
do
right?
you think have Javi Baez listed in comeback player of the year? Out of two
one.
major sports books.
Oh, zero?
Zero. You want to talk about absolute crud? I'm going to read you some of the names. I'm just going to read you some of the names. And you guys tell me if these people are having a better season than Javier Baez. Here is the guy at the very top, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, but he's coming.
Better season overall.
Well, he's coming back from a major injury.
He's coming
That's
back
why
from a
he's
major
there.
injury. That's the hardest one. He's at the top.
That's it.
Robbie Ray.
That's fair. I understand that one from a commercial standpoint. I understand.
Yeah.
And
Robbie
fair.
Ray.
He's an all-star.
He's an all-star, but is that a comeback?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Corbin Carroll.
Yes.
Spencer Strider.
Okay.
Kodai Senga. Christian Yelich. I mean,
Christian Yelich is having a hell of a year.
he's having. I'm not. I'm
Those
just
are
saying,
all excellent players,
Yeah,
but Javi should be among
But
them.
Javi should be among them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He-
So that's
he-
my point.
He's in Detroit with the best record in the MLB.
Yeah.
58
So
wins.
you
Sometimes
understand. The
Sometimes you,
national
but you
media.
know what, Pete? To that point though, end of the year award. End of the year award.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. And I think that's what the national media is waiting for. Unfair, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? I
got you.
think they're waiting to see if this continues, if this falls off a cliff like they expect it to. But it shows you what the masses think about the Tigers. They think that, this thing may not be for real.
That's
It may
correct.
fall
I have
off.
a question for you guys. Javi didn't play one inning in the playoffs last year.
No, he had an operation.
Yeah, and if you take the Javi that's playing right now and you put him
Ooh.
on last year's
what I'm saying.
postseason team, playing the way he is right now,
That's a great question.
they're in the World Series, no?
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
You
It's
get
going to
it.
be a fun postseason this
You
year,
get
gentlemen
it.
and ladies
You
and
know
everyone
what?
else.
You know what? Since that was so good, you know how I'm gonna reward you for that. You know how I'm gonna reward you.
He's
for
going
that?
to hoops.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the Pistons finalizing the contract with Duncan Robinson that brings him in, and where are you with that fully? And there's some other moves that we could dive into it because there's a player that I know you like them eyeing. I like it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Pistons are just better, okay? I know everybody's still, hurting a little bit from the Malik Beasley deal. I don't know if you saw some of his Twitters, but Antonio Brown, come get your boy. I'm looking at what the Pistons did. The fact that they kept their core together, they are a better team, period. Real quick, I want to talk about some names that were traded.
Okay.
And I want to compare them to Jaden Ivey because, unfortunately, Detroit sports fans have a recency bias because back in December, no one would have talked about trading Jaden Ivey the way he was playing. Kate Cunningham was a little bit banged up. Jaden Ivey was literally having the coming out party. This guy was all of a sudden ascending to the 4th pick level of play that he was drafted to be. Let me ask you, Maz, would you rather have traded for John Collins than Jaden Ivey?
Of course not.
How about Norman Powell, Cam
No.
Whitmore, Jonas Valanciunas, Cam Johnson, or Michael Porter Jr.? Would you rather have any of those guys?
No.
How about
Over
Nikhil?
Jaden?
Yeah,
Michael Porter Jr.
no. I wouldn't. Not at this point in their careers.
Nah, he won the ring already. He's not hungry.
Nikhil Alexander Walker would have been nice, but I'd rather have Jaden Ivey.
I like,
Me
the,
too.
I like the potential.
Mark Williams or Kristaps Porzingis? No thanks. Colin Sexton, Cole Anthony, or Jordan Poole? No thanks. All right, let's get into the 5 tough ones. Drew Holiday? Great defender. Not sure I'd rather have him at this point in his career.
I think Drew. I think it's the court, and it's off the court, and it's the
Sure,
locker room.
sure.
I think when you add Drew, you're adding a bona fide winner in all phases.
Okay, so there's one we can at least debate
Yeah.
about. Desmond Bain. Would you rather have Jaden
I don't
Ivey?
like his game.
I like his game if he's your 6th man.
Oh, okay, fair.
Okay?
fair.
Maybe
fair,
the
fair,
6th man of the
fair.
year on a championship
You
team.
know what? I like that. I don't like him as a starter.
Anthony Simons, Jaden Ivey. Kind of the same dude, right? And Anthony Simons isn't quite the clubhouse guy that I believe Jaden Ivey to be.
I'll take Jaden on that one.
Me too.
I'll take Jaden.
All right, let's get into the tough ones, guys. Jalen Green or Jaden Ivey?
Jaden Ivey, like Jalen Green to me is like he's gonna be I don't want to.
Maybe a little bit of a problem.
Yes.
I'll
How
save
he
you from
lives
the
his
rest.
life could be a problem.
I'll save you from the rest.
there you go.
And now Kevin Durant. Okay, so we know that a Kevin Durant for Ivy trade wasn't going to happen straight up. We don't know if he's going to get extended, how long, how much. And if the Pistons did bring him here, we don't know if he would even wanted to stay here. So I'm going to double down. The Pistons are better for keeping their core 4 intact. Now, let's take a look at what our problem was in the playoffs, hitting 3-pointers. Hardaway had one game where he was hot. Beasley had one good game where he could hit the three. Otherwise, those guys disappeared.
And it was in New York.
Exactly. But we add in Jaden Ivey, 40% shooter. You bring in Duncan Robinson, a very cerebral player. You're going to be seeing back cuts and drops into the basket when guys aren't even seeing it. The guy throws dimes, man, as well as hits threes. Then you got Karis LeVert, who is a more versatile scorer than either Hardaway or Beasley, who also is a 38% shooter from three. You add in the
What's Beasley's percent?
Last year he shot his best of his career.
41.
Yep. And
Okay.
but otherwise he is a career 38 guy as
All
well.
right, so basically the same guy.
Exactly. You bring, but he can score at all three levels, which Beasley could not. He's a better defender than Beasley. You add in a Chaz Lanier, wild card. You don't know what he could be, and then you also add what they just stuck in their back pocket, which is a $14.4 million trade exception. I don't believe the Malik Monk deal is going to happen. Yeah. I don't believe that. We're going to actually take a player back from Sacramento. God knows, unfortunately, it won't be Keegan Murray either. But now you sit in here with this extra chip in your pocket, and then you start talking about a trade, which you alluded to.
Before we get there, with Duncan Robinson, is there any fear that he has regressed as the player and the shooter that he once was? He signed that deal, and we all know about the jokes. He hasn't hit three-pointers since then. His numbers are decreasing steadily, 12.9 2 years ago, 11.4 last year, and he's 39.5 from the three-point line in the last 2 seasons. So it's still okay, but you're talking about a pure cerebral three-point shooter. It's just okay. Any concern that he's not the guy that you think he is?
Certainly. I mean, we've watched Duncan Robinson. He's limited athletically. He makes up for a lot of that with his cerebral play.
True. We saw that in Michigan.
But what I look at with Beasley, and I complained about this all season, this guy looked for his shot so much that he often took it outside of the flow of the offense. And I felt that there was many times, especially mid-season, that he set us back. Duncan Robinson is going to look for his shot, but he's also going to look for that backdoor cut. He's a great post-up player. Not post-up, but pick-and-roll player because he's just so careful with the ball. Now, I had to do a little extra studying because on the surface, this is a 3-year deal, which I don't like. You only give Karis LeVert a 2-year deal. I think that's perfect. But after a little more investigation, and check me if I'm wrong here, only the first year is guaranteed on that Duncan Robinson deal. The next 2 and 3 years on that deal are team options. So, to your point, if he isn't the player, and if he fails, we can get rid of him pretty quickly there. But I truly believe that he is a more conservative, pass-friendly, three-point option, super comparable, just his shot, to Beasley. But I think that Duncan Robinson will help the offense flow more. Karis LeVert is a more athletic, younger, more versatile scoring option than Tim Hardaway. And at this point, you don't need the leadership of a Tim Hardaway the way you did last year. This is a 44-win team with a young superstar who is your true leader, and you have to let him take that spot. Tobias Harris probably won't come back next year. This will be his last year as a co-captain of this team. This team, keeping their core together, is ready for the rest of this decade. The rest of this 2020s is this team should be a perennial Eastern Conference challenger and maybe even a finals challenger. Are you ready for the next topic, which is Nikola Vucevic?
Maz, any on Duncan Robinson, or are you waiting for Nikola Vucevic?
No. I'm very happy that Duncan Robinson is a Piston.
Yeah.
And Karis LeVert, 2 pros. 2 true pros. And I loved Malik Beasley. And I loved Tim Hardaway. I did. So you're taking those 2 guys out, and they didn't advance against the Knicks. So you put 2 new guys in there. Same kind of guys. Maybe they have a better attitude. Maybe they have better luck in the playoffs. Whatever it takes, I think they're going to mesh in great with this team. I do. And who knows, maybe we could put together what the Knicks do with Villanova. We could do here with Michigan basketball. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Talking Pistons here in July, I'm still involved. In other words, I'm still excited for what this team gave us and what this team is going to be. I'm very happy with the direction that this team is headed. I am.
And Maz, Piston fans at no point will wonder they won't wonder anything when Duncan accidentally drops a ball at the end of a game or accidentally does this or that. Because we're looking back at Beasley, and there's a lot of moments where you're starting to question it, whether he was with us or somebody else.
Was he in? Was the fix in, as they say?
I don't think he was dumping games. I just think he was manipulating his numbers.
Yep. And if you're looking to manipulate your numbers during a regular season game or, heaven help us, a playoff game, you aren't working within the flow of the offense.
That reminds me of Blue Chips, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
When he went back and looked,
Yeah.
he said, you might want to go back and check out such and such a game. He said, no, not Tony. Tony was my guy. Yeah, Tony's out there throwing games.
Yeah.
100%.
I need to
I just
watch
wanted
that
to
movie.
answer-
It's a great movie. Nick
Throwing
Nolte,
points.
like,
Been a lot of points.
legendary in it. Shout out to Happy. Happy's always a douchebag, but
He
he's
is.
great.
He's rest in peace.
100%.
Summer's
Rest in
Eve.
peace,
He
man.
was in Negotiator
Yeah.
as Knee-Bomb.
How about Neon Bedeau?
Ooh,
Great
Shaquille
name.
O'Neal.
Yep.
Great name.
I just wanted to answer. Yes, Anson, you're correct. The first year for Duncan is fully guaranteed. The second year is partial, and the third year is non-guaranteed or optional.
And
Yes.
that's huge because, to your point, Bray, if this guy isn't the piece and he looks out of place, you just say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
And that's even more flexibility for next year. Don't sleep on that $14.4 million trade exception. If they don't use it this offseason, you'll most likely see it used in February. But speaking of trades, there's one on the books right now, and I've seen a lot of Detroit fans really upset. And I do love me some beef stew. Vegetables, all of that good stuff. All right.
Carrots.
But this guy has brought the Rick Mahorn attitude to this Pistons team. He's brought the Ben Wallace attitude to this Detroit Pistons team. And analytically, he was one of the best rim protectors in the league last year. I think half the teams in the league, Bray, view him as a shooting big man. We have not allowed him to do that last year. And I think that we were a better offense because of that. But at $15 million a year locked in, he is a trade asset. He is a valuable player in this league. He's also valuable here in Detroit, and we love him here in Detroit. So the opportunity, which we're hearing, is to trade him basically straight up for Nikola Vukovic. Now, Vukovic is a double-double every night, but he is the one thing that I did not see the Pistons do this offseason that I have been saying since January that they desperately need, which is a stretch 4 or 5 player, a big man that can shoot the three, because Jalen Duren, his game will absolutely explode. He will be unlocked the moment that he has somebody to stretch the defense and create space for him. Vukovic is a little bit of a defensive liability. You know, you lose something defensively transitioning from him to from beef stew to Vukovic, but thing is, Vukovic immediately goes into that starting lineup. Period. So to me, it's a move you make, and I'd hate to see him go, but I think that with Vukovic, you truly have a power 5. You have a starting lineup, in my opinion, that rivals your New York Knicks starting lineup, which to me is the best in the league.
Coach.
But the Pistons are 10, 11 deep now, maybe even 12.
Yeah, I love that trade. Look, no disrespect to Beef Stew. I've always looked at Beef Stew as Jason Maxill 2.0. I didn't like Jason Maxill in terms of the totality of the team. Maybe what he did was great for spaces, but not the totality. I feel the same about Beef Stew. You said they view him as a big man that can shoot. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think the percentage proves that.
Well, he's over 30%, and to some teams, they value that at a center.
Yeah.
We don't.
Understood.
I wouldn't as a coach either. But
I
that's,
said,
yeah.
I just said all that to say I like Vukovic. Like I like what it looks like with Vukovic. I think this gets you a little more up to date and current to today's NBA and what they're doing in today's NBA. You add him as a stretch 4, now you clear the lane a lot for Jalen Duren. You don't necessarily need the rim protector of Beef Stew because Jalen Duren becomes that. Because Jalen Duren role changes. We're not asking Jalen Duren anymore to try and get 18 points and 18 rebounds. No. You can give us 12. Protect the rim, get the rebounds, and give us second chance opportunities.
And less flashes out to the perimeter for pick and rolls.
Yes.
He's growing as a passer, and if you've seen some of the summer work, he's growing as an outside shooter as well. But he pales in comparison to what Vukovic brings as a three-point shooter. When you free up Jalen Duren to be at the rim, you're going to see 14 rebounds a game, and you're going to see 2 blocks. And the times that you've seen him exposed as a very young player, don't forget how young he is, because I'm already seeing the chat. Oh, we got a Duren problem. You guys haven't even seen
He's the
what
youngest player in the
Jalen
league for
Duren is.
2.5 years, I believe.
They have no idea what this kid's going to look like at 26, 27, 28 years old. The sky is just higher and higher for all of these guys. But I think Nikola, it not only brings in what Tobias brought in, which is that veteran, presence, but he just brings in another shooter. So not only do we have 2 extra shooters, in my opinion, than we did last year from the perimeter with Ivy healthy and the moves we've made as well as a draft pick, but you add in Vuk, all of a sudden we're one of the better perimeter shooting teams in the NBA, and we're still one of the top 5 defensive ones.
Is he a free agent or is he with the Bulls still?
I believe he has 1 year left on his contract. So that would be my issue. But again, when you
The Bulls going to trade with us?
Well, from what I'm hearing, they want to move him, and it is pretty much a straight up deal.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so this would be his last year, unrestricted, and I think he's making $21 million. You've got Stu locked in at $15 million a year, and I think at this point, what you do with him, he's 34 years old. I think you extend him for maybe another year, maybe 2 after that, which you can do now. They might have to use some of the space that they created in the trade for Dennis Schroeder. But this is a guy that if you have him here this year, you maybe bring him in for another 2 years after that, tops. This is a team that is built to win the Eastern Conference.
Speaking of that, Maz, built to win the Eastern Conference. You look at what's going on. Obviously, the GM or the owner of the Indianapolis Pacers came out, said Tyrese Halliburton will not play next season. We knew that was going to happen.
Not at all, huh?
Not
at all.
I don't think there's enough time to get back from
Have we heard about that with Tatum? Because they're only a couple weeks separated.
I don't think either one are going to play. Realistically, you're talking about an Achilles injury.
What a landscape changer that is.
And that's what I'm saying. This move, Pistons making a move like now. Mike Brown just hired as the head coach of the New York Knicks. We know they didn't want him, and the players probably didn't want him. That's what they had to settle on. Do you have to make a move like this for the Pistons in order to feel confident about, 2025, 2026 in the playoffs?
Either that or just sign another player instead of making a trade. Sign the Malik Monk. Sign a dude. You got to go out. You still have that exemption, like you said. You got $22 million, 14.6, I think, is the player exemption. Go out and get somebody for that $14 million without subtracting from your team.
Man,
Vukovic. You've been hanging around Brad Holmes, man. Trying to hold on to that cash.
Hold it on.
Vukovic, 18.5 and 10.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
nearly a block a game, nearly a steal per game, 3.5 assists per game.
I didn't have to think
but the Bulls didn't have anyone else.
53 from the field.
He's like that everywhere, though.
Well, but he'd be even better here because he won't be the center of attention.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but 53% from the field. Oh, and 40% from the 3. And I know you guys love beef stew. I love them too. I'd love to find another way to do this.
He's a 5, not a 4, right?
Side note, Maz, you said they didn't have anybody. Who on the Pistons is averaging more than 18 outside of Cade Cunningham?
That's a good point.
Well, it could be Ivy.
As of right now, who?
Well, Ivy averaged 20 points last year, but
in the limited games, fine.
Sure,
so now you have 2 players. This is the new
you got
NBA.
3. You got 3 that are basically 20-point scorers in my book.
There you go.
You got your big 3. You got your up-and-coming other guys in Asar and Jalen Duren. Now your bench is looking like Tobias, Duncan, LeVert, Ron Holland. I mean, this team, if they make this trade, you're going to watch their odds to get to the finals go up.
You know what you should watch and when you should watch it? You should be watching Detroit Tigers on July 11th with us.
Yes,
the
sir.
White Claw Tigers tour. This is the last one on the tour, man. We might add another one, but for right now, it is the last one. There are no more, so you want to pull up, have fun with the crew, the guys, the gang, the team, the squad. You see what your Tigers are doing. 58 wins, 24 wins, over 500 for the first time since names like Miggy, Verlander, and Scherzer were in the building. Ben Johnson Law, they want you to come out and kick it with us. They want you to enjoy the Tigers. Why not do it at a better stable than second best right there in Midtown, right across from LCA. Second best is where it's at, and it's where we are too. July 11th, we'll see you. That is actually what? It's Friday. There you go. This Friday. Come on now. It's going to be a good one too, actually, because after the game, I think they're doing another one of those concerts like they did with Ludacris. This time it's a country singer that I'm not familiar with, but music sounds good. Like, it's a party. Like, it's going to be a party. Come on down this Friday, second best.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
I know you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and, of course, that ultimate swag, man. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Make sure you look at the latest designs. Where's my music? Oh, there it is. Latest designs at shop.woodwardsports.com. All guaranteed to turn heads. Every design is dope. Make sure you go get them right now. All your Detroit sports merch. Shop.woodwardsports.com.
Gentlemen, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. Like Braylon putting up that bench press at Planet Fitness. Hey. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in and sign in before you know it. Your hair's looking great, you're handsome, and you are ready for the weekend. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because Lady Jane's is wicked awesome.
I was just looking at Mike Brown's winning percentage as a coach because I didn't think that number was correct. It said 49%. Let that sink in. Mike Brown has a 10-year coaching career in which he coached 6 of those. He coached LeBron James. 3 of those he coached Kobe. And then he also coached the Sacramento Kings until which they made the playoffs one of those years. 49%?
That's crazy.
How bad do you have to be to have LeBron and Kobe?
Well, now, was he the coach of those 2 terrible teams after somebody took their talents to South Beach?
That's the anniversary today, by the way.
Oh, it is.
I'll tell you what.
No. He was here. He didn't leave. He left before LeBron.
He did. Okay.
He went to LA.
Okay.
He went out there to LA.
How the hell is he under 500?
He came back 2013 and 14.
How the hell is he under 500?
Sacramento Kings might have jacked
I guess so.
Sack with 41% this year, 56 last year, 58 the year before that. LA, he was 20%. That might have did it.
I got an anniversary question. Since we're talking about the anniversary of the decision.
That moment right there messed up A lot of things.
Well, and that's what I want to ask Maz, because I didn't.
The answer is yes.
You hated him after that day.
Yep.
How did you feel about him before that day?
I didn't mind him, but I didn't love him because I don't like anyone that nicknames himself. First of all,
Or tattoos it on their back?
yeah, but I didn't have anything really against him. I just wanted to beat him. But when he did that, that was the end.
And he could have done it anywhere, but he chose the Boys and Girls Club. It was basically like 9/11, like George W. reading a book to a bunch of kids.
W.
And let me just stop it and break all your hearts real quick, because no, I'm leaving, guys.
I gotta go.
And he couldn't even say it like, I love all you guys. No, I'm taking my talents to South Beach so I can go chase a ring because I believe in ring culture, even though I say I don't.
Two things about that moment. Thing one.
Not one.
What
not two,
LeBron
not
was
three,
trying to exactly. We said
not
like
four,
6,
not 5, not 6,
7.
not 7.
Oh, so, I think. A 9.
Two things about that situation. One, we know LeBron didn't go to high school, so he always wanted his ESPN. I'm choosing the school, so that's what he recreated. To that, I do think that.
I never thought about it that way.
And that's exactly what it was. It was corny, if you want to say. I think it was a little bit corny, but I understand.
Little bit?
It was a lot bit corny, but I understand in the sense of switching the hats and here's Ohio State, let me take it off, put on Michigan. And get it? It was corny. My issue is this, and it will always be the reason why I choose Jordan. Upon other things, you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot go team up with your best friend, who already, by the way, has a finals win and a finals MVP and has set up a culture, and the culture is called Wade County. You cannot take your talents to that place and then lay claim as you win 2 championships and 2 you lose to the best player of all time. You went and joined one of the best players in the league at that time, at that position and in the league period, who already had a championship. How could you lay claim to, I'm the best of all time? That in itself takes you out of the conversation.
Amen.
Just my thoughts.
Well, I've been seeing a whole lot of stuff. Nick Wright came out and was saying that Kevin Durant altered LeBron James' legacy. And everyone wants to throw all this shade on Kevin Durant. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar forced his way out of Milwaukee. Wilt Chamberlain forced his way to L.A. In fact, there are so many different players that you can point to that asked to be traded and got moved somewhere. Let's talk about Charles Barkley in Phoenix. Michael still beat him. Michael had no problem beating him. And you look at all of these major players that have moved over the last 5 decades of basketball, and the greats, the GOATs, the true GOATs, they don't use it, oh, well, KD went there, and that's why I wasn't able to win. You think Jordan cared that Barkley was in Phoenix? The hell out of here. The hell out of here.
Or that everybody that wanted a ring joined Houston in '95. How'd that work out for
There
them?
you go. Clyde Drexler, another great example. But to me, blaming LeBron's lack of success in the games that matter, blaming that on Kevin Durant is delusional and lazy, because we've seen that our entire lives as basketball fans. Big guys moving to teams and a great still being able to beat them.
100%.
Mark Aguirre, baby, let's go.
Mark Aguirre was a smart man. Mark Aguirre said, look, Mark Aguirre was averaging 29 points
Absolutely.
a game in Dallas, killing it. At the end of the day, it's not about individual goals. It's not about all-stars. It's about one thing, and that one thing is the ring. And
The
that's what
Paul
he
Blue
understood.
Devils, baby.
He came here to play 6-man to Dennis Rodman, by the way. That's right. Shout out to that. Let's switch topics real quick. Let's jump into the NFL a little bit. Quarterback, Netflix show, coming back this year, and it features Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins yet again. It debuts today on Netflix. Are we excited that we were represented last year? Amon-Ra St. Brown was represented on receivers. One of the first time you're starting to see your Detroit superstars in primetime event, primetime series or television. Is anybody excited about this, or is it just season?
It's just something to watch. I'll put it on. I've heard. I think you can watch the whole thing already, and I know a few people that have watched quite a number of them already, maybe all of them. There are some good scenes in it. There's one where Kirk Cousins, basically they ask him about Atlanta, and he's like, listen, they didn't tell me they were going to draft Penix. Had they told me they were going to draft a quarterback I would have stayed in Minnesota. I didn't have to leave Minnesota. So that's just one thing. And
Is that true though?
I didn't hear the whole thing.
I'm asking you.
I didn't hear the whole thing. Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
You
I'm
think
not going to Atlanta if they're going to draft a rookie quarterback.
So you think he stays in Minnesota?
Yeah, I'm at my peak right now. If I'm Kirk Cousins.
So my question is, why leave in the first place? Like, what did he?
Money.
Okay, that's a stupid question.
They overpaid him.
I reserve the right to ask a stupid question.
They overpaid him.
Thank you, man.
They overpaid him. And there's
Stupid
Coles.
questions get easy answers.
Hey, there's Coles in Atlanta. He can go to Coles. They got him in Atlanta as well. So it don't
favorite
matter.
store.
But, yeah, I can't wait to see that. I like Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
And I'm going to enjoy that. Joe Burrow is going to be fun because last year he could have been the MVP.
Should have been the MVP.
And he just got
win.
railroaded by that team. They could not stop a nosebleed. That's how bad that defense was. The O-line was horrible. Do you know they had the least amount of blitzes against Cincinnati, yet he was sacked the most?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Because the offensive line has been trash since before he got there, while he was there, and even now. Like, one of the things that will go down in my mental history as it relates to Joe Burrow, that offensive line that he made it to the Super Bowl and realistically was an inch away due to great pass rush, a little bit of a hole, great pass rush. He was 1 inch away from potentially
winning the Super Bowl.
The worst offensive line I've ever seen play in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Outside of last year's Chiefs.
And then you got Jared Goff, and it's going to be fun to go inside that Lions. Yeah, thank you, Sheila. It's going to be fun. I saw a clip of Dan Campbell looking at the offense in the meetings and saying he had the F word probably 10 times.
Good.
Look, we're going to do this. It's up to you guys. It's all on your shoulders. I need this out of you. We're going to play 4 downs. I don't care if it's 4th and 5, 10, 15, maybe 4th and 20. We're going to go. I'm telling you right now, and we're going to get it, man. And he was on them. And the only thing that circumvented him that year, obviously, was the injuries. And what happened at the end of the year, it all came tumbling down. We all know that. So I am kind of looking forward to watching this particular quarterback show, and I'll start it when I go home tonight.
I was going to say, I may take a look at it. I typically don't watch these shows. I watch receivers, but I only watch Amon-Ra St. Brown just to have something to talk about when I came on here. I'm interested to talk about because of how last season was. And we saw there's complete access when they do these quarterback shows, the receiver shows. They have complete access to the Lions, to Jared Goff, his life. I just want to see the moments. There were a lot of moments that happened last year. Let's not forget this team went 15-2. Let's not forget the trajectory that Jared Goff was on. Hell, at one point his name was in the MVP race. I want to see what that looks like. We know there was some tumultuous losses in there, most notably the last one. I want to see what that looks like from a cinematic view. Kind of excited about that. Also, I want to see how effed up is Cincinnati. Because you know they're going to give us some stuff in Cincinnati, who's still trying to pay one of the best defensive ends in the league. Excited to see those two ends.
And for me, with all the people in the chat that get so mad at SOL, I got to be honest with you. The majority of you I see as SOL mindset fans. People wondering if they're going to win 10 or 11 games this year. They have a better roster than they've had ever underneath Dan Campbell. I look at this team and I watch them go into games that should be even matches, maybe even be an underdog, and their will is what wins the game for them. This team has a moxie that you just don't see outside of maybe 2, 3, 4 other franchises at most. So the sky is falling, fans out there. This is their window. They got to jump on it. Like, I just don't understand what you're looking at beyond this year's roster. This year's roster, A, is good enough to win 14, 15 games again, good enough to go to the NFC Championship and win it. But maybe you're not looking at the 2026 books and the 2027 books. This team is here to stay. So the line, I think it's 11.5. I've seen it even at 10.5. You are an SOL fan if you're not taking the over, period.
Absolutely.
For the 4th or 5th or 6th time today, I agree with Anson. You know, you look what the Detroit Lions team is. One of the things that we talk about is this team has gotten better. This team is now the team in the NFC. Well, second team. Respectfully, Eagles have the Super Bowl, so we'll give it to them. But this is the team. This is a team that finished first in the NFC. This is the team that NFC 2 years ago. If you believe that, then you got to believe that they're the team. Which means when you see teams like Patrick Mahomes, and when you see Lamar Jackson, or when you see these teams, they're just as good. That's what you got to remind yourself.
This is a steal. 11 wins is their minimum.
I'm
telling you guys, that's 4 less wins than last year. I don't see it. 11 is the minimum for wins on this team.
I got 12 wins.
Yeah.
I 13 wins as a high. I got 11 as a low.
I can go with 12, 13, easy.
13, so that averaging me out to 12. I think 13 is a high for this season coming up.
Yeah.
There are going to be some tough games. It is the NFL. Nobody is undefeated. 13-4 is a high. I think 11-6 would be a low, but that would have to just be.
And Neil brought up the other day, they're going to lose 2 in a row for the first time in 2 years. I don't know about that. Because it's been 2 years.
Right.
So I got
them losing too.
mildly, I don't want to say breaking, but it's definitely insider information. Shout out to my boy JB. I
saw JB today, man.
I brought JB.
Yeah,
no, this is a different JB. This is my JB.
My product.
Anyway, JB works with a guy, and I mentioned this maybe a month ago. This company works for the other 3 teams in the NFC North, and they were charged with finding the new coach for the Bears. I told you that they originally came with Ben Johnson, the Bears passed, and then they circled back. So this is coming from the same source. Scientific studies on Marcus Davenport that shows that he is not injury prone, but just has had really bad luck. I don't know exactly what that means, but he's doubled down in saying that there is some information that says.
How do we prove that?
Great question. That Zadarius Smith actually upset Dan Campbell last year. So that might not be a done deal. He might not be coming back, and that could be the absolute reason why it is taking so long, which it may still happen. But the fact that we've heard nothing aside from him at like American Music Awards as he's dressed like his girlfriend, shout out, Z, we do love you, and we'd love to have you back, but it might not be in the books, guys, and they really might just be focusing on Marcus Davenport, and that they feel he can stay healthy for an entire year. I mean, we've seen some guys, whether it's in baseball or football, guys that were counted out as injury prone that came back and had full productive seasons.
Oh, I got one for you right now. Frank Gore blew his knee out. There you go.
How many times?
Twice at the
right.
University of Miami. Like, if Frank Gore didn't blow his knee out the second time, there will be no Willis McGahee, at least as we know him.
Real
Fast
talk.
forward, do you know where Frank Gore is currently listed as it relates to all-time rushing yard?
3rd.
And, oh, by the way, he blew his knee out twice in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, he's second.
He's second?
Wow.
Right on.
He's second all time.
I thought it was
So to
third.
your
Yeah, right
point-
on.
you said
No,
what?
I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, I knew he was
Or
top
maybe
3.
third. Maybe
No,
third.
I knew he was top.
he's
No,
second. I think he's
There was
I
like
was just saying, yeah, he's top 3 for sure.
5 straight years where we wrote him off in fantasy.
And here's
by
here's
week
another
2, he's
980,
on your roster.
Here's another 1,200.
That's
Here's
right.
another 1,100. Here's another 10. I played on the same team with him in 2011, and at that time, Frank was the name was there, but what?
Yeah, he's third,
Just
16,000. Yep.
Third.
Yep.
Just consistent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has to be third because Walter Payton is
Yes.
second.
Yeah,
Duh.
I was pulling for his son. I was really pulling for his son to make it. He was a rookie last year. I think with Buffalo, I don't believe he made it anywhere.
I want to say
Yeah,
Buffalo.
Mr. Junior. Yeah, from Florida. Yeah.
You were talking about rosters, and you were talking about the Chicago Bears. You were talking about they got me thinking about rosters. It got me thinking about off-season moves. CBS Sports, Josh Edwards came out with. Don't put it up yet, Pete.
You got it, buddy.
He came out with who has won the offseason so far to him. 4 of these teams, they may not bother you, but they may bother me. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll get a message in from Buddy's
good.
Pizza, and we'll come back and we'll digest this conversation.
Hey, it's legendary. It's deep dish. It's Detroit. It's Buddy's Pizza. They have 22 locations throughout the great state of Michigan, including that original location at 6 Mile and Conant. And boy, they've been doing it for 79 years. Get online and add that app so you can start earning rewards today. And we'll give you an extra 10% off your next order if you use that code above my head, 10meal. So get it started now. Get that app today and just head on over to buddiespizza.com.
Are you a real Detroit Detroit sports fan. Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Make sure you stay connected to Woodward Sports on all social platforms, man. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, and that behind-the-scenes action. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button, man. Once again, we on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. You on them all day anyway. Make sure you hit that follow button for us. Be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That is at Woodward Sports on all of them. Once again, that's at Woodward Sports everywhere. Make sure you follow us. Pete.
Hey, there's that QR code right there. If you
the hell
scan
you
that
were doing.
QR code above my head, it'll take you to Caesars Sportsbook. Use the code word over there, Woodward1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you do so, make your first deposit and your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan the QR code above my head. Use the code word over there, Woodward1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. And gentlemen,
I didn't know what the hell you was doing, Pete.
You know what?
Oh, my bro, you're on.
You know what is funny? It's Pete. So as opposed to be like, what the hell? I just like, whatever it is, he's got it.
He must have watched the Brady Bunch
I was
last
like
night.
looking at the squares in the open. I said, whatever it is, he's got a fix on it. Quick before we get back to the question, which was NFL, we'll talk about off-season rosters, who won. DeAndre Ayton going to LA. Does that do anything for you in terms of what LA can be?
Yeah, you're putting 3 of the lowest effort players on one roster. I absolutely love it.
They're not going to be called the Lakers. They're going to be called the Loafers.
The Loafers. Well played, my friend.
Thank you.
The L.A. Loafers. Man, I'm stealing that.
That was
It's all
pretty-
yours.
I'm going to be all over AI tonight making my 3rd jersey.
Oh,
the
God.
Indiana Never Haves, the New York Peasants, and the L.A. Loafers. I do love it.
Well, let's speak about some has, as in the Philadelphia Eagles, who are on this list of top 10 offseason so far. Philadelphia Eagles coming in number 9, but the first team on the list, as you guessed, the Chicago Bears. People still high on what the Bears have done, adding Joe Tooney.
They've been high since last year when they supposedly did it then.
You know what? I agree with you on that. Colston Loveland, Ben Johnson, just to say a couple. Your Minnesota Vikings, Ryan Kelly, Will Freeze, Jonathan Allen, really getting that offensive line as well as the defense intact. Washington Commanders, Laramie Tunsil, one of the best tackles in the game. Every time he gets paid, he sets the market. As well as Deebo Samuel.
Deebo is looking like he is working out like a beast.
Yeah, you knew he would. It's the typical old school NFL.
Yep.
And a lot of these young kids don't know. Guys were not working out in the offseason. They were car sales and smoking cigarettes, doing all that. They were living life. And then when training camp start, you bust your butt to get in shape. Not saying that's the way. That's how it used to be done.
Notable omission, and technically he wasn't added this year, but the Vikings add J.J. McCarthy.
Yep.
You know what? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's start with the Minnesota Vikings. Ryan Kelly, Will Freeze, Jonathan Allen, and like you said, J.J. McCarthy, who
a half a ton of weight on the offense and defensive line they added. A half a ton.
So they will be able to protect this young man. I golfed yesterday, I told you, with Davis Warren. Davis Warren's been in Michigan. This will be his 5th year, so he's been through every single one of the seasons with J.J. McCarthy. Got a chance to ask him a question. So what do you think about J.J.? It wasn't even about if he's going to be successful with the Vikings. What do you think about J.J. McCarthy? He gave me everything that Ryan Ermanni has said. Leader, great kid. You know, he's fast. He's got an arm.
Overcomes.
100%. He overcomes. He's built for the adversity. He's built for the moments.
That to me is the biggest one.
100%. And agreed. He says he takes it serious. And it was so subtle. It was so simple, but I understand what he means by that. He said when it comes to film, he's watching every single piece of film he can watch and then more. When it comes to breaking it down with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach, they say he is dialed into everything that's being said but gives his own input as well. Say he's approachable to all the players. Says he knows everybody on that team, especially the offense. He's dialed in a way, and then you start to add the skill. You start to add the arm. You start to add the speed. And you can say what you want to. He's a winner.
It's so funny.
Boy is a winner. I think Minnesota, there's a reason why they didn't want to bring Sam Darnold back. There's a reason why they tripled down on J.J. McCarthy this offseason. This could be a very interesting team to watch, and you know the head coach. I played with him in New York. I love Kevin O'Connell. This could be interesting.
And there's a reason they won 14 games last year, because they're a damn good football team.
Okay.
And you add in this kid, which to me is so laughable because the nation and Detroit are so focused on Jordan Love and Caleb Catfish Williams. And everyone has just looked past J.J. McCarthy and the team that we had to use 18 weeks to outmaneuver in the NFC North.
Yep.
This team got better by saying goodbye to Sam Darnold. They got better with this kid underneath center. Not just better, though, far more dynamic, and they're adding something to their offensive repertoire that has been the Lions' Achilles heel since before Dan got here and since Dan got here, my man Bray, and that is the running quarterback. So if you think it's going to be Chicago or Green Bay that we're worried about come week 15, 16, 17, 18, you haven't been paying attention because once again, it will be the Minnesota Vikings.
They might be the best bet. They're 8.5 wins.
Yeah, that's your best
8.5.
bet.
The reason why I knew that is because Michigan has always struggled with the running quarterback. Insert Cordell, insert Donovan McNabb, insert all the Ohio State quarterbacks. But anyway, getting back
Aiden Childs.
we'll see.
We'll see this year.
This is what I like, though. Listen to their schedule. One of the things you worry about J.J. McCarthy. This is his first year starting quarterback, seeing that rush. It's one thing to do it in practice. It's another thing when you do it. And T.J. Watt's on the other end or Myles Garrett. Maz, favorable start to get the young guy going. Let's play a game, win or loss.
Yeah.
You ready for this? Start the season for the Minnesota Vikings. Chicago Bears is who Chicago Bears they open up against. And it's in Chicago. Win or loss?
Whew. I'm going to say loss.
I'm going to say win.
Okay.
I'm going to say win. I like the fact that Chicago still got to figure this out. What they are, Ben Johnson, get on the same page.
I'm giving them the edge because they're home.
I agree.
True, but that new coach, new team, it gets a little dicey. I think they're going to underestimate them. All right, fine. They play the Bears. They follow with the Falcons. Falcons or the Vikings.
I like the Vikings.
100%. They then see at home the Bengals or the Bungles. They have no defense.
They could win that game.
I'm going with Joe Burrow.
All right.
Wow.
Fair.
So I got 1 and 2 so far.
Steelers,
Win.
Browns.
Win.
Then they have to see the Eagles and the Chargers and the Lions and the Ravens. But then they back it up
3
with
and 3, 3 and 4, 3 and 5, 3 and 6.
Bears, Packers,
Are you talking about the Vikings
4
right
and
now?
6. Yeah.
Seattle Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, Lions, and Packers. What I'm saying is they start the season off with a favorable slate to get him into the season.
That
to
8
get
and a
him
half,
comfortable.
they might be right on it, man. Now that I heard that schedule, they might be right on it. I mean, Vegas knows. Who the hell am I to tell you? Vegas knows. 8 or 9. I mean,
8.5. I'm taking the over on that all damn day.
That
And
is
listen,
a tough stretch.
I took so much flack last year for telling people that if you're not worried about the Vikings, you're dumb. Period.
Me and Maz
here
were
we
right
were,
there.
week 18, needing to beat them to win the damn division. What did they lose? Are you going to tell me that Sam Darnold is responsible for 5.5 wins? That's crazy talk to me. This team got better, and they got a better quarterback. If you're dismissing the Vikings and you're focused on the Bears, again, you haven't been paying attention. Period.
It's true.
Crazy.
100%. You had something, Pete? You had
No. I was just agreeing with what Anson said. That's all.
Looking else at this team.
Why are you guys all agreeing with me today? What the hell is going on here?
Because you're making sense.
You're making
You typically
great
don't make
freaking
sense.
point.
Smash that like button, check. Come on, get us to 100.
Here we go. Bears, Patriots 2, Vikings we just covered, the Broncos, the Commanders. Eagles at 9 is an interesting one. They get rid of some major players for them to help them win the championship, most notably on the defensive side of the ball. They replaced them. Jahad Campbell, Azeez Ojulari, hell of a defensive, and then Adoree Jackson, the DB who was first round 7 years ago, I do believe. Now is kind of trying to find himself a little bit. Are the Eagles still a team, Maz?
oh yeah.
Are the Eagles still in
They
your
got
mind?
they got Saquon, man.
Okay.
They got Saquon. They got receivers. They got great tight end position.
What about that defensive
excellent.
line?
And the cheapest
Defensive
defense.
line's going to be terrific.
Jalen
Why?
Carter.
They lost quite a few
I
players.
know, but they,
Jalen
have,
Carter.
they got
Well,
all
I know
these young,
Jay-
they got all these
Azeez
young guys
Ojulari.
waiting in the wings.
Okay.
And a cheap defense.
So I look at Philly, and over the last handful of years, we've seen, San Francisco's a team to beat. And then they barely make the playoffs or miss it. And Philly's kind of washed, and then they win it. The only pure consistency that I see in the NFC right now is in the NFC North. I don't think Philly gets back to the Super Bowl. I don't think that you can write the Lions off because of that schedule that you see and just say 11 and 12. I think people are reading so much into this offseason based on what happened last year, and you're forgetting we're 22 players down. I don't think Philly comes out in the East. I think they're a hell of a good team, but people are looking right past the commies. People aren't even talking about San Francisco, who's healthy, very, very healthy and deep as hell. Philly's going to be one of those teams, but I don't think that we see the same team come out of the NFC 2 years in a row
Well, it's going to be the Lions.
anytime soon.
It's going to be the Lions.
Also, too, in the NFC East, Maz, you bring this stat up every year. Same team has not won now for 11?
There you go.
11 years, so
There
that
you
is history.
Ooh,
you gotta pay
a
attention to.
new name in the super chat dropped $10 in, and he's got a green icon. So
He's a
I'm
Jet.
gonna assume he's a Spartan.
New York Jet fan.
I am gonna.
You can
I'm
bet
gonna,
on it.
I'm gonna disagree on this because I do think JJ, but I love your energy, my friend. JJ sucks. Fraudulent Michigan season is his peak. Asterisk.
definitely a Spartan.
I like
he
you,
is.
Chandler Miller.
He is
I like
such
you,
a
Chandler Miller. In
Spartan.
fact, I hope you take home this Stackhouse card. Remember, guys,
Got it.
for the next 20 minutes, you got a chance, actually 15 minutes, you got a chance to get in this. You know what, Pete? Because this new name dropped $10 in here, we're doubling everything
Yeah, we're
after
doubling.
this.
Sounds good.
Chandler Miller, you got an
Double.
opportunity to win this Stackhouse rookie, as well as the, what do we call him? Gordy, the Garden Gnome?
Yeah, Gordy the
Straight
Garden Gnome,
from
according to
the
Braylon
Red
Edwards.
Wings. Shout out to Freddie Phelps. So get those super chats in. Everything from now until 350 will be doubled. And guys, we're 30 likes short of 100, so please smash that like button.
How about the Bills?
I just had to
Bills
go,
are on here.
I just had to go back and look at something. He said what was it? He said fraudulent season. He said his numbers, the cheating and all that. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let me
Chandler,
ask-
you
let-
have
let me
tapped
ask-
into the corn and blue nerve
Well,
of my good friend.
Wow.
This is what we do. You know, I mean, you brought it up. So
I just
Checking
saw the
receipts.
chat.
let's see.
I just saw the
Did
chat.
Maryland cheat in 23? Because they beat y'all 31-9.
We don't know he's
Did
a
Washington
Spartan.
cheat? They
We don't
beat y'all
know. We don't know he's a
41-7.
Spartan. He could
Looks
be.
like a
He
duck,
could be
walks
Ohio
like a
State.
duck.
Minnesota beat y'all that year, 30-12.
Are you assuming he's a Spartan?
Ohio State cheat. They beat y'all 40-3, and they ran the ball the whole second half.
I don't
So
believe those teams cheated, but we do know who was cheating at that time.
this is true. We just
Every
know we
team
didn't
was.
have to cheat.
Okay.
Every
Yeah, so
team.
and every team in the MLB was cheating and stealing signs too, Maz.
Not like the Astros.
Oh, okay.
Not like the Astros.
Okay, Mr.
No one else had
Asterisk.
electric equipment.
Okay, Mr. Asterisk.
Oh, you are such
Pick and choose your
Awesome.
asterisk.
you are such an asshole.
It's and son, sir.
Ooh, and son. You guys
Shout out Rando Smalls. Don't care about any other team except the Lions. Like I said, until they lose, they are going undefeated, period. And he's putting his money where his mouth is. Shout out Rando Smalls, legend in the
They're
chat.
all in there.
Shout out Randall Smarts. We talk about some Lions getting snubbed. Woo. Talk about Lions getting snubbed. Where you want to go, man?
A lot of JJ hate right now,
What
man.
do you want to do? What you got going
Wow.
over there? Somebody hit a home run?
No, I'm not watching. I'm
Braylon
watching
did
us.
blame a Michigan loss to MSU on the rain once.
I did.
Hashtag we do not forget.
Hey.
Shout out Cody
Aw.
Engel.
Have you heard of? Have
Hold
you
on,
heard
hold
of?
on,
the-
hold on.
Yeah,
First
that was
foremost-
personal. That was personal.
That's personal. Hang
No,
on, Bray. Hang on, Bray.
that-
Hang on.
That's fine. I did. I was working on 97.1, and I legitimately said, if it didn't rain, Michigan would have won. Here's my reasoning. One, I shouldn't have said it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Shouldn't have said it. It is what it is. The only thing I remember there was one coach that was smart enough to know, because of the monsoon of rain, I'll just run the ball all game. Then there was another coach who wasn't so smart and decided to let his quarterback, who was a backup quarterback, throw the ball and throw 5 interceptions.
Boy.
John O'Corn threw 5 interceptions in the monsoon. Michigan State won by 4. So, yes, I said what I said. I shouldn't have. You know, it was in the heat of the moment. I was upset we lost. But I stand by it if somebody wouldn't have threw the ball 5.
I got a couple more super chats here. But they're pouring,
pouring
in
in
right now.
now.
Appreciate you guys.
I like to play on words.
That's right. Just remember, guys, they are doubled
Keep
up
it going.
up until 350. Eric Shaw, I'd be pissed if I was a Spartan fan, too. Go Tigers.
There we go.
Stephen Baffy. JJ, with no experience, is going to step in and run that offense better than a veteran NFL QB in year one. He has lots of emojis laughing after that. But
Did
yes,
you laugh at Jaden Daniels last year, who didn't have the same type of skill position set? Did you laugh? You probably didn't even think he was going to do anything. He won 12 games, and he beat your Detroit Lions in year one with a less skillful skill group.
Stephen probably drafted the Catfish before Jaden. That's why he didn't win his
There
fantasy
you go.
championship.
There you go.
Now, middle-aged sneaker chick. Did someone say double up? Because you know she's the queen of double up.
Oh, yep.
Shout out
She's
to
here,
Russell, rest in
here,
peace.
know me. Hi, fellas. And then I want to roll it back here because somebody asked a really good question in here.
We got a really
Hey,
And
Anson,
I
what was Stephen B's last
missed
name? It's
it.
cut off for me.
Somebody, here it is.
Baffy.
Baffy?
Yep.
Thank you, Tom.
Where did it disappear to? So somebody wanted to ask me, when it comes down to it, when the Lions are playing as good as they are and the Tigers are in the playoffs, who are you going to choose to watch? If they're both on at the same time and you can only pick one,
You go to both. Right? They're legitimately.
you don't get both, Brain.
Are you talking
I do.
regular season Lions versus a playoff?
I
Come
do.
on,
That's
man.
what they're asking.
I
It's a
did this.
playoff.
I did this before. I did both.
You went to the game with a little pocket TV?
One, no, I went and then left a half, went to the other game.
Okay. I like it. All we are forgetting, that this is Dante 115, are we forgetting that JJ is basically in his first season in the NFL? Come on now. What are we freaking doing anymore?
Easy, Dante.
It's funny because after we lost in the NFC Championship, everybody on me for SOL, and I said, what if they lose in the first round next year? And everybody said, well, then they're SOL. But no one wanted to say that after we lost to first-year quarterback Jaden Daniels, and as I've contended since last year, JJ is the white Jaden.
And also, too, there's first year, and last time I checked, that was last year for JJ. Insert a 365 days worth of film, study, learning, operating, how to do things, and getting on the same page with your offensive coordinator, your head coach, and your players. Very low key. Like, I understand this will be the first year he started, first year he's seen game in the regular season, but don't underscore how valuable the time that he spent, that he put in at the facility, time and time again, till he figures out. Don't underestimate what that does for you. Kind of gives you a little edge.
Steve-O, Anson, this is a baseball town. Think of what the people had to go through when it came to the Lions. They were heartbroken, and yet they still sold the damn place out in an 0-16 season. This isn't hockey town. We love our baseball, and we're excited for the Pistons. But you best believe this lunch pill, hard hat, blue-collar city is all about football, period.
Was it 2013? I went to the Giants. Tigers played the playoff game, and then the Lions played the Giants on Monday Night Football. I do believe.
And Danny G, I can afford the 3 TVs that I own, but only one of them has been on for about a year and a half of the last 12 years. I do not rot in front of the screen.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do this. Let's reset. Let's get the last commercial break in, and we'll come back. We will finish the show. Let's get a message in from some automobile guys.
And this might be the last break, but you got plenty of breaks up there. And I don't mean just on the wheels, all right? They're cutting you a break on their deals right there. You see both of those Hummers up there for $599 and $699. Their 2025 models are priced just right, and they've got an amazing inventory. $169 for a 2025 Sierra double cab? That's an absolute steal. Listen, you got to get to Les Stanford today and check out that massive inventory and those amazing deals on that 2025 class of vehicles. Les Stanford, Buick and GMC, for all those lease specials, head on over to lesstanford.com, and don't forget, together, let's drive.
On me, ladies and gentlemen, but I tell you, this is a spot that will blow your mind. And also, it's not just because of Volcanic Rock, in which you cook your own steak in front of you. No, it's not because of the great service. It's not because of the food. It's not because of the drink. It's because of the ambiance, man. It's because this is a place that makes you feel like home. At least that's what they did for me and my family 2 weeks ago. Where you get a steak on the stone, I'm telling you, man. Volcanic Rock, 755 degrees. So be careful, but we got you. It's more than a meal, it's an experience. Rocking hours 3 to 6 p.m., but also too, they got price points. They got price points for you, man. $8.99 is the starting fee for lunch. Why don't you come out lunch? Get a little supper lunch for $8.99, and make sure you come hungry. Because Black Rock, they will feed you. That's what they do. Stay tuned. A summer giveaway is coming that actually rocks.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Baligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
There you go. Another QR code above my head. It's like the Brady Bunch. There you go. Scan that QR code above my head, and it'll take you to Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's numero uno Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and also in Lansing. And this month's specials include a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew. You can lease that for just $149 per month, or you can lease a 2026 Equinox LT for just $209 per month. Scan the QR code above my head. It'll take you to Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's numero uno Chevy dealer.
Just means different things to different people, but not to the fighter, Ben Johnson Law. It's settlement or verdict, it does not matter, because justice is always going to be won by the fighter. If you've got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law today. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers. They want all the smoke. They don't mind if you settle, go to trial. They're equipped for it all. That's what you want. They're going to get you the justice that you deserve. You're going to go to benjohnson.com. That's where they're at. benfights.com. I like that. Ben Fights. I always get excited when I do that read. Man, something opened up last year.
Yeah.
Very, very, very dope thing. And now
amazing.
We may get a chance to indulge in this dope thing. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's called Cosm. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's opening its 5th venue in downtown Cleveland, nonetheless. They're currently in LA and Dallas. Atlanta and Detroit are in progress. I'm not sure where they're going to put it in
Texas
Detroit,
game?
but look at this. It's like
this
you're
is the first
at.
one I saw.
It's like you're at the game, guys. This is in Texas. This particular bar here. Watch, you'll see the Longhorn on the roof, so you'll know it is a Texas bar.
I thought that waitress was going to just jump out of the way when that plane came right at her. Like, I was scared for her. The thing's amazing, man. I will be there. I will be there.
That is
sure.
that is, I don't know what it cost, but wow,
That's
is
crazy.
something.
That first season, it's going to be tough to get in there, I would imagine. Detroiters are going to love this.
As someone that has been on that sideline many, many times, that looks exactly like that sideline. That's what it feels
Isn't
like.
that something?
That's super cool.
It's going to Cleveland first. I know we all boo Cleveland. Why is Cleveland
You know
getting
what?
one before us?
I got pot.
So-
No negativity.
So we could
That's
actually
right.
turn the volume up and make the big house sound the way it should, instead of all those guys sitting on their hands.
I'll eat that joke because I.
Oh, it wasn't a joke.
I'll eat it.
It wasn't a joke. That should be the hardest place to play in the nation, and
sometimes
it's not.
it is. And sometimes it is.
Hear me out on
You
this.
weren't there for the season that they won the championship.
Oh, I sure as hell wasn't.
Okay, so you don't know what it sounded like.
Wow.
Wait. Last year,
You weren't there in '97 either.
I was overseas, and I was a Corn and Blue fan, unfortunately, at that point.
I will say this. Look, he's right. Like, as it relates to the sound in the big house, like it comes and goes in waves. As a whole, it's not one of the loudest stadiums. When it has its moments, it is, but it should be for 115,000.
Every
But
game.
I will say this though. Pay attention to schematics. Pay attention to how things are built, because that also.
Oh, sure. It's an ancient building. It's not made for acoustics.
It's a bowl.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
built like that.
We got a couple more super chats.
Yes, sir.
These are the last ones.
Yep. You got 1 minute for
So-
double spots.
So you want to read them?
Oh, sure. I thought you were about to. But all balls, no D says Z will not be back. But I'll tell you what, the heavyweights might have a real hard time sleeping the night that the news tells us Z is not signing here. I think all Detroiters think it's a done deal.
I think they do,
Today, it is a little bit in question. A little bit of question. Shout out Greg 2025. Welcome in. It's the first time I'm seeing you on the prize wheel. Good luck, my friend.
Man, you got some stuff on here from the Red Wings, and we don't have enough time to dive into all of it. But I'm just looking at the subject matter. Stevie Y seems like his back is against the ropes.
I think so. He had his press conference just a few days ago. It was the post-draft Wings free agency press conference. He all started, they made a couple of deals.
Yeah.
They traded for a goaltender. John Gibson comes over from Anaheim. Here's the boss. Here is the captain, Stevie Y, on what John Gibson can bring to the Winged Wheelers.
Well, I think we were able to address some needs, starting with the trade for John Gibson. I hope, obviously, we make that move with the intention that we're better in that. We stop more pucks, makes us a better team. We're expecting that of John and Cam as a pair. So start with that. In free agency, Jacob Bernard-Docker on defense gives us a little bit of depth, kind of, not a big name signing or whatever, but has been an effective player in his time in Ottawa, and particularly plays hard and competes, so it gives us a little bit of depth on the blue line. Up front with JVR on the left wing, a bigger body. I think he had 19 goals last year and has been 18, 19 goals each of the last couple seasons. And Mason Appleton as well. A right winger that, plays on the penalty kill, chips in a little bit of offense, but will, kind of where I think Mac will be able, or Todd will be able to put together a so-called checking line that can contribute a little bit offensively as well. So fills a need for us with a right winger who's a little different style of play than, say, Lucas or Alex DeBrincat, who's a right shot but plays on the left side.
Hey, listen, as a guy that covered Stevie Yzerman in the day, he's not the talker on the team. And here he is as the boss, so he has to be the talker. And let's face it, this last year has been very hard. The last couple have been very hard. I mean, the media has been a little hard on him, and he is starting to bite back little by little. And he talks softly, but he carries a big stick. And I believe he'll still be able to right this ship. I guess we're just going to have to wait it out. I mean, we got no other choice. I don't think they're going to be parting with Steve Yzerman anytime soon.
Yeah, patience comes to those who wait, and sometimes if you have an organization or you have an institution that's willing to wait for you, sometimes you get the opportunity to figure it out. I look at what happened in Michigan and Ann Arbor with Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, as we know, most of you guys that are Michigan fans wanted him gone. Most of you guys are Michigan State fans, you wanted to keep him because you could beat him. Michigan kept him. Michigan figured out a way to right the wrong, and then eventually, the rest is history. Where are you with that, though, for Steve Yzerman? Like, do you just keep allowing him to, kick the can down the road or figure it out? Or do you really put some press?
Well, you go out and you get him a Connor Stallions.
Okay.
Period. All right? Because the only reason why Harbaugh and Stevie got so much time is because of their name and their alumni they associate with.
Fair.
Period. Harbaugh would have been gone if that man, Connor Stallions, was not there, because they wouldn't have won. I don't care what anybody says, they wouldn't have won. Steve Yzerman, he's over 6 years. Stop it, Astros. So Steve Yzerman.
So all those NFL players, that didn't matter, right? All the players that they had on the team.
How many of those NFL players that they put in of those 22 are doing anything or even getting any play time?
They definitely did.
Less than half.
First, second,
Less
third
than
round
half.
picks. Okay,
tighten your thin skin up, my man.
Keep talking.
All right. So listen, if you enjoy asterisks like some people do, but get upset about others, the Red Wings need their asterisk. And I don't mean that literally, but Steve Yzerman here is on borrowed time, the same way that Harbaugh was. He found a way to circumvent that. Yzerman has to do that. I don't think it's through cheating or through stealing signs, but the guy's got to make a splash. This is over 6 years he's been here now, and we have not seen a splash. We haven't seen one name come across the board outside of Patrick Kane that anybody has been excited about. How the hell did the Pistons beat this team to the playoffs at LCA?
I'll do more of this tomorrow, but Cody Engel says some of these agents aren't even taking Stevie Y's calls. Now, I haven't heard that, but if that's a true thing, then that's an issue. That's an issue.
It definitely is an issue.
But we'll go to Anson's wheel where he has no issues.
Oh, hang on.
On his wheel.
oh,
No,
look at
no.
Mavs.
There might be a couple people on the wheel that have issues with who wins, but we really do appreciate you guys bringing it today. 3 more Super Wheel prizes, and I'm really going to bring it Friday, so make sure you guys all show up. I don't know where we sit on these likes, Bray. Let me refresh here and take a look. We need 16, guys. 16 to hit 100. All of you that are watching and listening right now, just smash that like button. And let's go ahead and bring that wheel up.
Oh, it's up.
There's that handsome man spinning around with that O face.
Here we go. Hold on. Before you spin the wheel, Anson, you can decide who spins it. That doesn't bother me. But just want to throw it out there. Look, man, we appreciate you guys, for this ride. It's been a 4-year ride. It's not completely over, but the show as we once started, it is. It's time to rebrand. It's time to renew, do things differently. But the thing that will stay the same is you. And who we do it for. We appreciate you. We seriously do. I know I don't always get into the chat, but I'm always excited to run into people that are, the names that I recognize, whether it's middle-aged sneaker chick or whether it's Mike DeVries or whether it's Randall Smalls. But we appreciate all that you do. We appreciate the fact that we want to do a good show for you guys, man. You guys are the straw that stirs the drinks, to quote my good friend Anson Wells, man. So we appreciate you. This is a start of a different kind. So we just wanted to say that before we got out of here.
Truly, and the fact that I can bring my cards on here and people get excited about them, it's
fun,
double
man.
fun for me, man. It really is.
You got the Captain Crunch cards, man. Those are my favorite. Captain Crunches.
I actually have a Captain Crunch Kirk Gibson I got to bring in.
Give it.
That might have your name all over.
You know what?
It,
I
but,
appreciate that.
Somebody's gonna have their name all over this stuff right now, and let's go ahead and spin it right now and find out who that is.
Let's go, baby. I am rooting, actually, to be honest with you, for Greg. First time on the wheel. Go, Greg.
Yes, I love you, but Bray doesn't get as upset when I call the Wolverines out for cheaters, but you're always on it, and yet you hate the Astros. I just don't understand.
Come on, middle
Oh,
sneakers.
Chandler Miller, go green!
I'm rooting for middle
Go
sneakers.
green!
Come on, middle
Fix
sneakers.
me.
Yeah.
Fix
Now
it,
that is Spartan karma right there.
I was
my
rooting for
friend.
middle
Fix it,
sneakers.
That is Spartan karma right
the
there.
wheel again.
Hey, Chandler Miller just dropped in another $10. Ann Arbor is poverty. Go green. Go white, baby. Let's go. I love it. Chandler, I will look for you tomorrow, my friend. You made my day.
3 wins is poverty last time I checked. Y'all might want to fix
Hey,
out
last
some
75 years, 8 national championships in hoops and football compared to 3 in the city that they say is poverty. 8 to 3.
I love the
Check up on your history.
I love the made-up stats. But you
That's
know what?
not made up, man. It's shared, just like you guys shared in '97.
That wasn't our fault.
That was a bad vote.
No, that was the missed call in the Missouri game when he kicked the football out. Otherwise,
Even still, they lost the game. Michigan didn't.
and yet they shared,
That's
and that
because
was
they
your
gave,
That's
they gave
because
Tom
they gave-
Osborne
Exactly.
a welcome.
On his
See
way.
you
3
later.
national
Oh,
championships
you're
in 75 years, 8 for Moo U,
Can I just say
Mr.
one, can I say
Agricultural
one, can I say
College.
one thing as I let Maz close the show? Can I say one thing?
You would say 7,
I just need y'all to start talking about current things.
like J.J. McCarthy.
Current. Like 75 years, that's too long ago.
oh,
Like
but
Maz wasn't even here
see,
75
and
years ago.
that's so convenient because they want to focus on the last 4 years against,
have to be the
against
last-
OSU,
but it
but they
doesn't
don't
have-
want to talk about the last 25. That's for damn sure.
How many players have been
we
drafted by
won more
LSU?
games in that rivalry.
LSU.
We didn't go back when Ohio State was whooping Michigan's butt. We
I
didn't
thought
go
we
back.
weren't talking about the past, Mr.
That's
Leather
what
Helmet.
that's what you just said. You
But
you said 25
Sometimes
years.
it's 4 years, but you don't want to go back 25.
I do
You
wanna
don't
go
want to
back
go back
25.
75 because you need to go back at
I
125.
do want to go back 25. I beat Ohio State in that 25 years.
4 times the endowment of every team in the conference outside of Northwestern. Y'all better be winning.
Dang.
Whatever makes your boat float.
Exactly.
Whatever makes your boat
It's
float.
whatever blows your skirt up, Ray.
I don't wear skirts, so.
Thank you.
You know what? Men should be able to wear skirts. Am I wrong?
And with
Women
that-
should be
Time.
wearing pants.
Maz,
You're wrong.
it's on you.
Yes, you are wrong.
You're wrong.
Outdoor
Maz.
parts, baby.
Hey, Anson, do me a favor
Time to
before
go.
we say goodbye. Just look up how many players have been drafted out of MSU compared to Michigan.
Yeah, how many of
We'll
those
see you
22
tomorrow,
are playing?
folks.
You're
See you guys.
still crying. I love it, man.
Hey, hold on.
I love it.
You know why he's mad?
Y'all done
Damn,
talked the
I
music
just
out.
thought about it. The great white hype
Look how
for
mad I
Michigan.
am.
Hold on. The great white hype for Michigan State, which you guys have been holding your NFL career on. He got replaced by a Michigan quarterback.
8
about that?
championships to
Kirk
3.
Cousins got replaced by J.J. McCarthy, and he didn't even throw a pass yet.
How many
why
championships
they're
have you
mad.
been alive for? 8
That's
to
why
3.
they're
Is it pretty
mad.
close?
That's why they're mad. We'll see. Hey, it's 4 o'clock. Love you. We'll see you next Monday.
And while we have a break in the action, New York Giants fans, here's your Uncle Tom Mazaway for War Bonds. Uncle Sam needs you to do your part to help defeat Nazi Germany. That's right, help the Stars and Stripes as we go against the sinister Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. Buy War Bonds today.